Really hard to be at this point in the season. We've got first place Sacramento State coming to town this weekend, so we need to have a great week of preparation. Should be a great game on Saturday. I hope everybody's excited about this coming game Saturday as I am, and we need everybody there this weekend and fired up. So that's where it's at.
Bobby, with it being the halfway point of the regular season, obviously with 6 more regular season games left for you guys, just so far through the season, what's the biggest thing that's kind of stood out to you from this team?
It really goes back to the record, 4-1 and ranked, I think, 5th. Finding different ways to, we've done what good teams do, find different ways to win games. Still a hard-working football team that's a work in progress, and when you can be that and be where we are right now, that's probably a good thing.
And just to kind of elaborate on finding different ways to win, one game the offense goes off, the defense has played well all year, the special teams. Is that maybe one of the biggest things of this team, is that resiliency to just find different ways and just kind of being a mark of a good team that way?
Yeah, I've said it a couple different ways over the last few weeks, but, I think good teams find ways to win, and it doesn't matter if that's the way it is in seasons. Sometimes it's the offense, sometimes it's the defense. Hopefully the kicking game here helps every week.
When you went and looked back at that game in particular, the reps of all the guys that played a lot more than they normally do, how do you feel like they did and the depth did on Saturday?
Yeah, we won. I guess that means it was good. Anytime you have attrition, then somebody's got to step up, and I don't necessarily look at it that way. I don't. It's just whoever's in there's in there. They've got to perform.
Coach, you mentioned Sacks in first place right now. They've been really good in the Big Sky, both 2019 and now into this fall. So what is it about their program that's really helped them elevate to be towards the top of the league?
Yeah, I think they had a good team in 2017, 2018 as well. The team that we beat out here in 2018 was a really good football team that I didn't think got their just due necessarily. And then 2019, they had a bunch of veteran players, a lot of 6-year seniors. I think it's pretty well documented, and rode a hot quarterback to a playoff appearance. They're a really skilled football team. I think they've got good team speed. So they're an interesting team.
Moses, I wanted to ask you, you played at Dixie State, and also you went to high school in Utah. So I guess what was this weekend's game like for you?
I think this game was another game where we needed to perform. We came out with the win, which is good, and Dixie State was a good team, and they showed us some good looks, and we were able to come out with the win.
Bobby, I know Sac State's running a 2-quarterback system. From what you see on film from them, why are they able to do that using 2 quarterbacks so effectively?
That's kind of their choice to use 2. They have one guy, O'Hara, who's the guy that runs it more. In fact, he's one of the leading rushers in the league, I think, right now. I'm not sure where that sits as of today. I haven't looked at it yet. But and then they've got Dunning, the number 12, that's the guy that throws it a little bit more. I don't think that's the way it has to be called, but that's the way they choose to call it. That's the way they've decided to go with it, and it's been effective for them.
You mentioned Kevin Thompson, how hot he was last year. Did the offense look different without a special player like that at the controls?
You mean now?
Yeah, is Sac State's, they're doing anything fundamentally different without Kevin Thompson?
No, it's kind of the same offense. They just get different guys doing it. They haven't made wholesale changes in the offense. No. using the two quarterbacks, they kind of looks to me like they try to highlight their, back to Frank's question, they try to highlight their strengths where they just had one guy doing it before.
Eli, last time you guys played Sac State there in 2019, what do you remember about that game? And does the result of that game linger in your mind or motivate you going into this game at all?
Yeah, I think every loss that we take lingers for every game we go forward with. It just lights a fire under the whole defense and the whole team as a whole. But from that game in 2019, I just remember they had a really nice team, and it just pisses me off, kind of, frankly. But none of us like to lose, so I think it's going to motivate everyone, especially this week.
Eli, just to kind of follow up earlier, some of these guys on the defense getting some extra minutes lately, just testing that depth a little bit. How much fun is that, on a defense, knowing that depth is there? And you're seeing some of these guys like, Garrett and McGowan kind of get out there and make big plays for you guys.
Yeah, I love it. I love watching them get a chance to go out into the field and make plays. I think on the practice, it's just fun getting new guys to play with, like around me on both sides, just to get more dynamic between all different players on the defense. But it's just cool watching them go out and play, and I like watching all the guys on the defense play, watching all of them step up.
And Moses, kind of a similar question. You've seen some of these other guys stepping up on the offensive side of the ball. Obviously, Chris getting his first start. Seeing them kind of have some success this last weekend. What was that like on offense?
It's always good to have guys that are able to come in and make an impact on the game. Chris got his first start, and I know the whole team has full belief in him and his abilities. He practices with us every day, and he's doing everything all the other quarterbacks are doing, and it's good to see him stepping up and controlling the game.
Coach, because you guys played against Cal Poly, who brought in a few different guys at quarterback, and of course this week Dixie had a few different guys come in. Do you think that can help you prepare for a team like Sac State that has plays with two guys?
Well, it's at least leading up to the game, it's different systematically because they rolled in guys, but they run the same plays. Sac tends to run different plays with each quarterback, so it's a little different.
Coach, are a lot of the runs with O'Hara, are they designed runs or some of them scrambles? Or is it a combination of the two?
No, it's mostly run game. It's quarterback run game. I mean, there's RPO game, there's a lot of read stuff, and then there's just some called runs.
Moses, how would you maybe just describe what it was like just hearing a different guy, in the huddle call plays, and how do you think, Chris was in commanding the huddle and stuff in his first start on Saturday?
We rarely huddle.
Oh yeah, we don't really huddle, but I wouldn't say there was a difference. Like I said, Chris does everything everyone else does in practice, so he just got his opportunity, and it was good to see him taking charge of the huddle, and when we did huddle, and it was good to see him out there on the field.
Eli, for you, when you have different guys at defensive end kind of rolling in and out, do you get different chemistry with different guys, or are you kind of just doing your 111th and it doesn't really matter who's out there? Or can you start forming new chemistries once you get more reps with different guys next to you?
I feel like, I don't know, in practice or at least the rotation goes around a lot, so the chemistry's pretty much there. I got trust in all the guys to do their 111 just like they trust me to do my 111, so I don't think it really affects me as from how I play. But like I said, I like playing with different groups of guys, and it's just fun to run around and just ball out with them.
Coach, I know when we asked you about the 20th anniversary of the 2001 team in fall camp, you were saying I think you remembered recruiting and then stepping away to watch the game. But this weekend, just sort of remembering those guys, particularly because I know Andy Thompson played on that team. He's at Sac State as well. But what do you think of just those guys returning and just sort of the celebration of Montana's last national championship?
Yeah, a lot of those guys are in touch, and a lot of the younger guys on that team played for us. We're excited to have them. It'll be fun to see everybody. I know a lot of those guys stay in pretty close touch, and then, Wayne Hogan's going to be back, who was the AD at the time. He's excited. And Coach Glenn's going to be back. He's excited. So fired up for those guys to be here. I think they'll have a good time. We won't cut you out.
Bobby, you said after the win you don't normally know what type of team you have until the first week of October. How well do you feel you know this team, and how would you describe the team that you have as far as you know so far?
Yeah, and got a pretty good handle on it. I think we're competitive. I think we play really hard, and I think they care deeply about the Montana Grizzlies and their result on Saturdays.
Coach, their wide receiver, Pierre Williams, he's averaging about 95 yards per game. So what is it going to be like facing a player like that? Yeah,
he's a really good player. They have a lot of good players on the offensive side of the ball. I think he may be the best one. He makes a lot of plays. He's got good size. He's got good speed. He's got good hands. Hard to pick a better wide receiver in our league, in my opinion, than him.
You said the week of preparation for Dixie State was challenging with the practice time and knowing who was going to be able to practice and play. Are you hoping that it's going to be a little bit better this week, or are you maybe anticipating having to might go through that again?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we had a lot of guys sick last week and all that. I don't know. We'll see who shows up today.
All good? Thanks, everybody.
Good.
Nice.
Thanks, guys. I'll take that ball. Thanks, guys. Thank you, sir. Thanks for coming, guys. All right, guys. We'll see you.